Hi, Wade Galt here, author of Put Your Money Where Your Soul Is and creator of the 4-Day Workweek coaching program, where we help people work a 4-day work week and create the lifestyle they most desire inside and outside work. In this video series, we've been talking about the 4-day work week journey, how you take the natural steps in working towards having a 4-day work week. And we talked about there being 4 main stages: being an apprentice, then a worker, an entrepreneur, and then a business owner. When we talked about the 4-day apprentice, we talked about how important it was to manage what you already have. So making the most of your relationships, the time that you're getting activities you want to do, your money, and making the most of it, and then not over-investing in things that set you back in your journey. As a 4-day worker, we talked about it being all about you making more money by maximizing personal productivity, starting with value creation and being extremely valuable to both your employer and the people you serve, helping get such high results that you increase your income naturally, which leads to the flexibility to where you don't need to work 5 days to earn the income to live the lifestyle you want. And then hopefully, perhaps, you approach the boss and say, hey, I'm making enough money. Is it okay if I get the results in less time and simply work the hours and the days necessary to get those results? The next step is to be a 4-day entrepreneur. And this is where you really unlock your genius and your hourly income. So some people will stay happily as a 4-day worker because they'll have an employment situation where the boss says, yeah, I get how valuable you are. Let me make this as nice and as smooth as possible. I don't want you going anywhere. In which case you might say, well, you know what? I've already got the freedom. I've got the flexibility. You know, my name's not on the door, but it doesn't really matter. And on the other hand, there'll be situations where you say, nope, you know what? I'm ready now. I want this to ultimately be about me. Now, this could be something you start working on at night while you're a worker. This could be something where you quit your job altogether and start something brand new. Or maybe you got, laid off or something changed and all of a sudden now you're saying, hey, what am I going to do next? So this does not have to be an all or nothing proposition. You could be a 4-day worker in the day and start working as an entrepreneur in the evening and working towards that. So whatever that looks like is possible. But let's look at the main things that happen with a 4-day entrepreneur. The first thing is they've got a tremendous amount of self-awareness. And perhaps the most important part of that is understanding what you're good at and what you're not good at. So there are certain things that we're horrible at. There's certain things we're okay at and we get by at, and there's certain things we're just ridiculously awesome at. And being aware of what those things are makes it much more likely that you can be successful, not only as a 4-day worker, but just where you are in life and as you start to create an entrepreneurial venture or a business of your own. Once you get clear about what it is you do best and what you're just absolutely awesome at, now, we got to make sure that that's something that can generate income if it's going to be that you're going to be an entrepreneur with it. But as you get clear on that, you're going to start realizing, well, then there's these other things I'm not as good at, but they still need to get done. So if I'm great with sales, customer service still needs to get done. But I might say, I'm going to focus on the sales part, and I'm going to start looking to see how I can involve other people, outsource or team members or whatnot, to where I'm doing what I do best. Or maybe I work with companies where they say, look, we already have a service department. We just need you to be that salesperson, and you're an independent contractor. You do as you like as far as work with us or not, that sort of stuff. But a lot of this takes not only the focus, it takes the courage to then say, okay, I'm going to give up some of these things that have the steadiness to them. So for example, let's say I worked at a car dealership and I worked in the service department. And I'm getting my hourly income to work in the service department, and I tell the owner of the car dealership, I say, you know what, I'd really like to be in sales. That person's going to say, okay, you're going to be in sales, but whenever you're in sales, you don't get that 10 or 15 bucks or 20 bucks an hour, whatever it is. You don't get that because you're selling. Now, when you make a sale, you'll get this huge income or percentage of the sale, but you're not getting any guarantee. So there's a lot of courage. And the same thing goes when you say, well, I'm going to leave the steadiness of a job that's paying me a certain amount to start my own situation. There's a lot of courage it takes to do that. And then it also takes a lot of determination, because you are going to fail. There's a reason why 90% plus of small businesses fail over a 10-year period. And the majority of the reason is because people just really weren't aware of how much time it was going to take. They weren't aware that it takes usually at least 3 to 5 years for a business to get going and successful and profitable. And they thought that because they had a great idea, that it was just going to take off. And most of the times, and any of y'all who've been business owners for more than 10 years or 15 years, know that there's also cycles. You have moments where, man, you're just on top of things and you're doing it and things are working really well. And there's other times where they're not. So being able to be aware about what you do best, focus on that, and yet knowing that you're going to have the courage to let go of some of the things you're not as good at, and the determination to stick with it to make sure you're successful is a huge part of the journey as a 4-day entrepreneur. And so that's the third step in the 4-day workweek journey. If you want to learn more about creating a 4-day workweek lifestyle, go to 4dayworkweek.com. As always, please share this video with friends, put comments below, like it, let us know what feedback you have on it. But look forward to seeing us in the next video. We're going to go over that fourth step, the 4-day business owner. And as always, look forward to helping you make more money in less time, doing what you do best, so you can create that 4-day workweek lifestyle for you and the people you love most. Thank you.